Right, welcome back. Let's do question 13a. For what values of t does the graph of the quadratic function y is equal to x squared plus 2tx minus t never touch the line g of x is equal to x minus 5 over 2? So we're going to be using the nature of roots. Okay, right. So we are saying that it says for what values of t does the graph of the quadratic function never touch the line? So if these two functions touch each other, or if they have a point of intersection, then it means that this y is equal to g of x must have what? Must have a solution, must have roots. Okay, right. So we're saying that if these two functions have a point of intersection, then there must be roots that are there. But if they don't touch each other, then it means there's no point of intersection and there are no real roots. Okay, so and then we know that if there are no real roots, that means the discriminant is less than 0, it's negative. And we know our discriminant is what? The discriminant, remember, is b squared minus 4ac. Okay, so it means now we have to write this equation y is equal to g of x, and then we write it in standard form. We're going to write it in standard form. We find this equation first, and then we write it in standard form, like in the form ax squared plus bx plus c, okay, is equal to 0. Then we'll get our a, our b, and c, and then we put them into the discriminant here, and we say the discriminant should be less than 0. If they're what? The function does not have real roots, this discriminant what? Is less than 0. The discriminant is negative. Okay, you know where this thing is coming from? From the quadratic formula, isn't it? We're saying the quadratic formula is x is equal to minus b plus minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac, all this over 2a. You see that? So if this thing here is negative, there are no solutions here, because you can't get what? A square root of a negative number. You see that? So now, so the y is x squared. I'm doing this part now. Y is equal to g of x. The y is x squared plus 2tx minus t is equal to the g of x. I'm equating the two functions. Is equals to x minus 5 over 2. Right, and then let's write this in standard form like this. So it becomes, let's multiply everything by 2 to get rid of this denominator. So it becomes 2x squared plus 4tx minus 2t is equal to 2x minus 5. Okay, right, and then we need to write this in standard form. So it's going to be 2x squared. Right, I'm done with the x squared. Let me collect the ones with x. This is x, this is x. So it's going to be plus 4tx minus 2x, and then I end with this 2 that do not that they do not have what? They do not have x here. And then minus 2t plus 5 is equal to 0. So here we're going to get our a from this part, from this term, and then we're going to get our B from these two, and then our C from these two. Okay, right here, let's factor out x so that we can get our B. So it's 2x squared plus 4t minus 2, and then times x. You see that? Okay, and then minus 2t plus 5 is equal to 0. So it means that a is equal to 2, b is equal to 4t minus 2, then c is equal to negative 2t plus 5. Okay, let's substitute this into our discriminant. This is our discriminant. We're saying that b squared, so it's going to be 4t minus 2 squared minus 4, and then our a is 2, and then our c is what? Negative 2. Oh, now it's like plus plus here. This is t. Negative 2t plus 5 less than 0. Okay, and then let's expand this. Let's just use how do we expand, how do we square a binomial like this? We square 4t is going to be 16t squared. If you want, you can do this the long way. You have your two brackets and expand the long way. Just say this time this, distribute this time that, this time this, this time that. Okay, you'll get the same answer. So I'm going to use the shorter way here. So it's going to be 4t squared. Okay, so it's going to be 4t squared, which is 16t squared. Then I take this sign here, which is negative, and then I say 2 times. Okay, remember I say 2 times. Let me just remind you before I go to the next step. Let me just remind you here. Remember that x plus y squared is equal to x squared plus 2xy plus y squared. If it's minus, is equal to x squared minus 2xy plus y squared. Okay, remember that. And then so it's going to be 2 times 4t times 2. Okay, 2 times 4 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. So it's going to be 16t. Okay, 16t. And then we square this. The last term is always positive if you check here. And then we square 2 is going to be plus 4. Right, and then this is 8. This is 8. So I'm going to be distributing this negative 8. So negative 8 times negative 2 is positive 16. Then negative 8, you see that this t is giving me problems, right? This is negative 2t. I was thinking that this is plus. So this is positive 16t. And then negative 8 times positive 5 is negative 40. Then less than 0. Okay, right. Now we need to simplify this. Negative 16t plus 16t is 0. This makes our life very, very easy. So it becomes what? It becomes 16t squared, right? And then plus 4, okay, plus 4, positive 4 minus 40, that is negative 36, less than 0. We can divide everything by a common factor here, which is what? Is it 4? Yes, we can divide everything by 4. So this becomes 4t squared minus 9 is less than 0. You see that? I've divided everything by 4. Remember, I divide everything by 4, including the right-hand side. Right. And then this is a difference of two squares if you check. This is a square, this is a square. Okay, you know difference of two squares. Let me just remind you. So x squared minus y squared is equal to x plus y. Can still start by x minus y or x minus y. That's difference of two squares. So here this one is like 2t squared minus 3 squared. You see that there's a difference of two squares. So we can say this is 2t minus 3 and then 2t plus 3 is less than 0. So our critical values here, critical values are uh, t. Remember here we can say it means 2t minus 3 is equal to 0, or 2t plus 3 is equal to 0. These are critical values, not the solution. Okay, so then t is equal to 3 over 2, or t is equal to negative 3 over 2. So these are the solutions. So remember, our inequality is less than 0. Less than 0. Okay, so these are just the critical values. We have negative 3 over 2 here, and then we have 3 over 2 there. So less than 0. Less than 0, where is it? Okay, less than 0, it means this is the part where the graph is less than 0. In the interval, when t is between what? Negative 3 over 2 and 3 over 2. Okay, so that's our solution there. So t should be greater than negative 3 over 2, but less than 3 over 2. So those are the values of t. For what values of t does the graph of the quadratic function y is equal to x squared plus 2tx minus t never touch the line g of x equal to x minus 5 over 2? So these are the values when t is between negative 3 over 2 and what did I write here? Should be 2. Yeah. Okay, not t, 2 over 2. Right, it's saying when t is between negative 3 over 2 and 3 over 2. Okay, that will meet when we do question 13p.